Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking through some MLB player props I like on Prizepicks for today for Saturday, August the 13th. We do have a really big Saturday slate. We have actually 16 games today. There is a doubleheader, so there's more than 15 games today. 16 games, a lot of player props, a lot of options to choose from. We have a few early games, not many. I think there's only like 3 or 4 early games, but actually, the 2 plays I like for today, I'm going to give out 2 plays in this video. The 2 plays I like for today are both going to come from some of these early games. So I did want to go ahead and upload this video late Friday night. Go ahead and get this video up. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, these games have not started yet and you'll be able to get these plays in. But yeah, I got some plays I like in these early games. Obviously, there's more props available, in some of these night games. And again, I do give out more Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. So I will take a look at the board again on Saturday, sometime Saturday morning, find some more props I like. I should be able to find a good amount, on a big slate like this. There's definitely, a lot that stood out when I first took a look at the board, but I don't want to give out too much in these videos, just because with the Patreon, I do want to save stuff for Patreon members, obviously since they're paying, and it's a paying subscription. But I got 2 plays I like for today. So as always, guys, we're going to talk through the 2 plays I like for today just before we do get started. Make sure you hit that like button. Always appreciate the likes. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you're new to Prizepicks, if you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, definitely get over to Prizepicks, sign up, and use promo code NOAH. When you sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And another thing, again, if you guys enjoy these YouTube videos, you want to get more content from me, I do provide additional Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. Again, check that out if you are interested. But real quickly, before we talk through our plays for today, we can recap our plays on Friday. Gave out 3 picks Friday. Was not a great day, honestly. We went 1 and 2 on the 3 plays that we gave out Friday. We did hit the over on Michael Kopech's strikeouts. Kopech pitched a great game against the Tigers. He went 6 innings. I think he was throwing a no-hitter through 6 innings and had 11 strikeouts. I mean, he looked amazing on Friday night. He easily went over his K prop of 5.5. But the 2 plays that missed were Pablo Lopez over fantasy points. Lopez finished with 23 fantasy points when we needed 27 from him. Came up just short, and it was really annoying because he needed 1 more out to get a quality start, which would have put him over his fantasy score. He needed to get through 6 innings to qualify for a quality start, and they pulled him right before he could get that final out. Matt Olson was coming up to bat, and I think there was a runner on second base, and the Marlins elected to bring a lefty in to face Matt Olson. So Lopez got pulled right before he could get a quality start, and if he would have got the quality start, he would have went over his fantasy score, but he came up just short, unfortunately. And then Max Scherzer, we took his over 7.5 strikeouts, and he finished with 6. That's just kind of, it is what it is with that play. I would have bet that play again, 100 times out of 100. We had good odds on that play. I think Scherzer's over 7.5 strikeouts wound up being it was minus 165 on DK Sportsbook. Prizepicks actually did bump his lineup to 8 just because it was such a heavily favored prop. And Scherzer, unfortunately, just didn't come through and didn't hit. But I would have bet that play again, especially with the odds that we were getting. Getting his line at 7.5 was definitely a good bet to make, and it just didn't work out. But we move on to Saturday. Again, we got a big slate today. Got a couple plays I like in these early games. So let's go ahead and talk through them. So first play I like is going to be a pitcher fantasy score prop, and then I have a strikeout prop that I like for today. So for pitcher fantasy score, we're going to go to Jesus Luzardo. He's playing in one of these first games of the day. It's the Braves and the Marlins. They play at 1:10 Eastern time, so obviously, this is an early start. And this is one of the doubleheaders. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. We're going to be taking Jesus Luzardo's over 26.5 fantasy score against the Braves. Now, this is basically the same scenario as it was on Friday with Pablo Lopez. Pablo Lopez, he pitched all right. He pitched he got through 5 2/3 innings. He gave up, I think, 2 runs. He had 5 strikeouts. He needed to get the quality start to go over his fantasy score. Luzardo, I could definitely see him, maybe only going 5 innings, but still getting over his fantasy score. Luzardo has shown a lot of strikeout upside this year, has a really, really high K rate so far this season. He has a 32.1% strikeout rate, which is in the top 8% in the league. Now, Luzardo has only made 8 starts this year, so it's not a huge sample size, but it seems like this strikeout stuff is going to stay. I mean, last start against the Cubs, he went 7 shutout innings, had 6 strikeouts, 49 fantasy points. He is coming back from an injury. He's made 2 starts since coming back from his injury, but he's pretty much, fully stretched out at this point. He threw, I believe, 91 pitches in his most recent start, so I'm not really worried about that injury at this point. Luzardo has been, injured for a good amount of the year. But he faced the Braves earlier this season before his injury. It was very early on in the year, April 24th. He faced Atlanta, pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 8 strikeouts, and finished with 42 fantasy points. Again, Luzardo's got good strikeout stuff, a 32.1% K rate this year. He does struggle a little bit with walks. That's something that can be an issue at times. Sometimes his pitch count can get high just because he is walking a lot of batters. He does have a 10.5% walk rate this year, but I mean, he has a 187 expected batting average, which is in the top 6% in the league. He's only given up a 247 WOBA, so he's not really been getting beat up too bad this year. Hard hit percentage, exit velocity, like he's given up some barrels, but he's not really given up a high expected batting average or an expected WOBA either. So, and the strikeout stuff is there as well. Now, obviously, this Braves lineup is dangerous. They do have a lot of power, but again, this is something that we talked about on Friday. The Braves have been striking out a lot this year, especially against righties and against lefties. I mean, their K rate's somewhat high as well, 23.4% K rate this year, which is 11th highest in the league. You take a look at their projected lineup and the hitters in their projected lineup. Ronald Acuna hasn't been striking out as much this year against lefties, but Dansby Swanson, 22% K rate. Austin Riley is obviously an amazing hitter and has been mashing lefties this year, but he does still strike out quite a bit, 25% K rate. Matt Olson's numbers against lefties are not nearly as good, and he's got a 23% K rate. William Contreras, I'm pretty sure it is, 21% K rate. Robbie Grossman got traded to the Braves. He's not that great of a hitter, 22% K rate. Michael Harris, if he's in the lineup against a lefty, he's been really bad against lefties this year, and he's been striking out a ton, 30% K rate. So I think the strikeout upside is there for Luzardo in this matchup. There's obviously some downside just because this Braves lineup is dangerous, but they do still strike out quite a bit. It's a good pitcher's ballpark as well. The Braves have just a 3.7 implied run total, so I think if Luzardo can limit the damage, like even if he gives up like 2 or 3 runs, we're probably still going to be okay. Like if Luzardo pitches 5 innings with 6 strikeouts and 2 runs, that still puts him over 26.5 fantasy score. That would put him at 27 fantasy points. But if he can go 6 innings, if he could get a quality start, then he's definitely going to go over his fantasy score, because a quality start, 6 innings plus 4 points for the quality start, that's 22 points right there, not factoring in any points he gets for strikeouts. So, yeah, if we can just get 5 or 6 innings from Luzardo, maybe he gives up 2 or 3 runs, but I think the strikeout upside is there in this matchup, and Luzardo has shown a lot of strikeout upside this season with a K rate over 30%, that the strikeouts at least should be able to mitigate the runs. Even if he gives up 2 or 3 runs, he should be able to get 5, 6, 7 strikeouts to make up for it. So I like this play at 26.5. I think this fantasy score is a few points too low. I mean, just take a look at Luzardo, his K prop is 6.5 and his fantasy score is 26.5. Shane McClanahan, his K prop is 6.5 and his fantasy score is 41.5. Obviously, 2 different matchups, facing Atlanta, facing Baltimore, 2 totally different pitchers, but that's a huge difference. That's a 15-point difference. I don't think Luzardo's K props or fantasy score should be as low as it is, especially with his K prop at 6.5. I feel like his fantasy score should be like 29, 30.5. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually see this line get bumped up a few points. So that's going to be our first play for today, is over 26.5 fantasy score for Jesus Luzardo. And then our next play, actually speaking of Shane McClanahan, we're going to go to his strikeout prop, and I'm liking the over here at 6.5. I definitely think this line is appealing at 6.5. I was actually surprised to see it below 7. This is a really good matchup for strikeouts. If you look at where the Orioles rank this year against left-handed pitching, they have the 3rd highest K rate in the league, 25.2% K rate against lefties. And we can pull up their individual lineup, look at all their hitters. Every hitter in this lineup has a K rate above 20%, at least their projected lineup. We'll have to actually wait and see what their lineup is, but 26% K rate for McKenna. Adley Rutschman hasn't been nearly as good against lefties this year as he has been against righties. He's also been striking out more against lefties, 23% K rate. 23% for Mountcastle, 22% for Santander, 20%, 21%, and then you got these bottom of the order guys, Mateo, 30%, Chirinos, 31%, Nevin, 30%. There's just so many strikeouts in this Orioles lineup, and we know that Shane McClanahan is one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league. So far this year, he's got a 33.3% K rate, which is in the top 5% in the league. He has an amazing whip percentage, 95th percentile in whip percentage, so he's able to get a lot of swings and misses. He's in the 90th percentile in chase rate, so he's able to get a lot of swings and misses on pitches outside the strike zone. He just has great stuff. He's got great swing and miss stuff. He's just a really good strikeout pitcher, and this matchup sets up so well for strikeouts. And I want to say that McClanahan so far this year, he's had 7 strikeouts or more in almost all of his starts this year. There's only been a few starts, like his last 2 starts against Detroit and against Cleveland. he's gone under 7 Ks. He actually has kind of struggled his last 2 starts against Detroit and Cleveland, but he did face Baltimore pretty recently, went 7 innings and had 7 strikeouts against Baltimore. I didn't pull up his full game log. I actually probably should have looked at this, but I want to say that he's made 21 starts this year, and I think he has 7 Ks in like 16, 17 of those starts. I guess I can look through it real quick. So there's been 1, 2, 3, 4. So 17 out of 21 starts this year, McClanahan has 7 strikeouts or more. There's only been 4 starts where he's had less than 7 Ks. He had 5 Ks against Seattle. He had, he had 6 Ks against Boston. He had 4 Ks against Cleveland, and then he had 3 Ks against Detroit. The 2 starts against Cleveland and Detroit, those were his 2 most recent starts, which I guess is a little concerning, but this matchup, again, it's just so good for strikeouts. McClanahan had 7 Ks last time he faced Baltimore. He actually faced Baltimore earlier this year. He's faced them twice. His first start of the year against Baltimore, he had 7 Ks through only 68 pitches. So I think with this matchup, as good as it is for strikeouts, with how good of a pitcher McClanahan is and with how much strikeout upside he has, this line at 6.5 is very, very appealing to me. I think it's very likely you actually see this line get bumped up to 7. We don't have any odds on this game yet. There's no pitcher props available on DK Sportsbook, but if I had to guess, 6.5 strikeouts from McClanahan, that's going to be pretty heavily juiced on DK Sportsbook, if I had to guess. Don't know yet. We don't have any lines up for that game, but I like it quite a bit. These are going to be our 2 plays for today, guys. Again, both these plays are coming from the 2 early games, so I wanted to make this video Friday night, get it up for you guys. Hopefully by the time you're watching this video, you'll be able to get these plays in. But if you want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I will definitely take a look at the board again on Saturday, and I'll find some more plays I like. I mean, there's a lot of games today. There's plenty of pitcher props available in these night games that look pretty appealing to me. So I'll take a look at the board again Saturday. I'll give some more plays I like. I'll share those over on Patreon. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, as always, it is linked down below in the description. Check that out if you are interested. But thanks as always for watching, guys. Good luck tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And also check out Prizepicks. If you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, get over there, sign up, and use promo code NOAH. When you do, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.